Yo, 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 what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all a little bit of time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. Kind of see some of it didn't, but it is what it is. First things first, hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Tuesday evening. Hopefully everybody was able to get through the workday. Um, Hopefully everybody was able to just get through their period. For some, y'all already know, some of y'all already in them spots where school done started back up. Wanda, what's going on, baby? What's going on, my guy? Hopefully for those who have already started back school, hopefully the parents and the kids, hopefully y'all get through another school year. Hopefully y'all could, make some changes if necessary. And that's really about it. Appreciate everybody that tuned in earlier for the live conversation. Definitely was a good one. And if you missed it, you can catch the replay. I'm good, Wanda. I'm good. Um, I woke myself up just in time, actually. Like I said, I did set this schedule, but I don't think all notifications went out. But it is what it is. Um, this morning's live was definitely like it's not a refresher. It was just something that was needed. And honestly, those talks are needed because we got to stop messing up again the fabric of society. Tonight, tonight's live was clear as day, man. Oh, I hear you. Yeah, bro. Just take some helpful advice sometimes. These people do be knowing what they speaking about. They might not know everything, but they know what they speaking about. So, but you don't want to rush nothing either, bro. Um, Sometimes you might need a little sit back just to get yourself back where you need to, get back in the flow of things anyway. You know, one thing to do is never rush any type of progress. For those who just had surgery, or for those who might be going through, or might be going through any type of rehab, just take your time and don't rush the process. And I appreciate you, Wanda, for sharing out. Tonight is clear as day, professional or professional victim. There's situations where people will always be professional no matter what's going on. And then you got those who play professional victim. Nexie, what's going on, baby? Val, what's going on, baby? Yes, you done stepped into the matrix. I'm everywhere. But again, you got some people who will always be professional, even when they're being accosted, even when they're getting cursed out. I've seen some situations where people who have just been doing their job and doing what they're trained to do have gotten disrespected, even to a point where you made yourselves look even crazier. Now, I just seen something recently, and I don't feel bad for this person because see, that was what I call a professional victim. Now, you made a you made a scene and everything about something that was wrong with your food, and instead of you just calmly saying what the problem was, you acted a complete fool, knowing that you work for a specific company, and oh, she got fired. I can't feel bad for her. And despite that, it was a quote unquote Karen situation. Didn't matter. I've been seeing a lot of situations that just don't look right on all angles. And when you're sitting here playing professional victim, hmm, it's not always going to go in your favor. See, now if she would have just kindly spoke and had a conversation, even if she was dissatisfied, they probably would have took care of her shoot. Probably would even say, you know what, since it's all fall on this, you know what, it's on us. But no, you would belittle somebody, get crazy, then even almost throw the food back at them. Like, this is what I'm saying. Some people are gonna remain professional even when they feel they don't necessarily have to. And in some cases, some people don't need to be professional. Some people need to get low down. I'm saying because the things that are being said and done, even as recently, again, it goes back to what I was saying about the tactics. Like what I was saying last night, too much tactics. James, what's going on? That professional victim tactic is getting played out. And the sad part about it, it's not just women, it's men too that play professional victims. But lately, I'm sorry, some of you women have just been the most rudest people that I've seen. And I'm not even trying to sound funny or cause any type of arguments and disagreements, but I'm being truthful. See, that element right there, she could have saved herself the embarrassment and saved herself her job. But because you wanted to play a professional victim so badly, you got what you got. And then still was playing professional victim. How can you get mad because somebody got wind of what you did? Especially if you work for a high company. A lot of these companies don't want to have that bad reputation, especially if it's coming from one of their employees. So that could have been like I had you in a higher position and you then got caught out there doing something stupid. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to get rid of you. Why? Because you didn't hold yourself to a professional decor, despite not even being on the job. Don't matter. You represent my company. You're over here wilding for respect. You got to go. You got some people that I'll leave a prime example. There was something surfacing around, right? And like I said, it made me more upset only because, again, this is where professional victim came into place. Um, your child is doing something they ain't supposed to be doing, and they still doing it. You not paying them no attention, or you just not stopping them. It took a security guard to come out and tell you that you and your child got to leave out this store, and it's coming to find out, pulling out stuff out of this little kid's. Matter of fact, the boy was stealing right in front of her. She looked at him, and then even the guy was saying, "Look, you ain't even trying to do nothing. You're not even trying to, discipline him, do anything. If I discipline him, what am I supposed to? What am I supposed to do? If I discipline him, then I might get in trouble. No, you don't got to get crazy and hurt him, but you do need to pop him when he's doing something he ain't supposed to be doing." Again, playing professional victim. What am I supposed to do? You are the mother. You are supposed to figure that out and do something. If your kid is stealing in front of you and you ain't stopping it, what are you doing? You're encouraging it. Flatty, what's going on, baby? In some instances, I can't feel bad when the people got to do what they got to do. And in that instance, he had all rights to do that. He didn't grab her or do anything crazy, but he did tell her they had to leave the store. Because my thing is, if I'm watching the camera and I see your son is doing certain things and you're not stopping him, you're not even popping him, not even trying to tell him like this is wrong, you're a part of the problem. See, when people try to tell you about the things your kids are doing, especially when it is something that's going to be a downfall for them at some point in their life, you need to listen and listen to reason for real. And that right there, in another instance, a professional victim. Because now, if you just got kicked out of that store, imagine what other stores you might get kicked out of by you not, disciplining your children when they doing the wrong things. You're encouraging them to keep doing the wrong things, and this is what's going to happen. See, basically, what you're doing is raising a future thief, in my opinion. Because if you ain't even going to, if you see him did something, even while the guy is talking to you and he's still doing something, you're not going to do nothing. Yeah. You can't be mad when they decide they don't want you in the establishment no more. And in some cases, like, let's be real. You lucky they ain't put you on one of those pictures and one of those displays like this person is no longer allowed here. This person stole, yada, yada, yada. That's just like when I went to one of the sneaker spots I go into from time to time. There's pictures up there of people that can never be in the store, or they probably never got caught. But if they do get caught up in that store, they going to jail. Why? Because you know they did something they weren't supposed to be doing. One of the damn pictures I thought I knew the dude, and I'm like, yo, this nigga look mad familiar. And I could be right, but I could be wrong. But even still, it just goes to show you. These cameras work. A lot of times, them people do be paying attention, especially when there's certain things that they know for a fact they got to keep their eye on. They ain't gonna let that just walk out of there like that, not without it being an issue. D Truth, what's going on, my guy? But this is what I'm saying. In that same token right there, you put yourself out there in the wrong spot because again, you didn't want to. You didn't even want to do the simplest thing, pop his hand. And I granted, he wasn't that big, but yet in the same token, you still was supposed to discipline. Because if that had been like you asked him to do something, he didn't do it, you'd popped him. And again, as a mother, you are supposed to know what the hell you're doing. I'm quite sure if this would have been a situation where it'd have been the father and the actual father, oh no, he ain't having that. Yeah, what you doing? Now, what's going on, baby? I don't even know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. At some point, I'm gonna drop the link in case anybody want to chime in on this conversation tonight. But this is something that we are seeing too often now. Some people are just going all out the woodworks, getting crazy, going crazy, even becoming viral moments. And then in the same token, playing professional victims and crying about the losses that they took behind them, making a scene. Oh, Neff, I gotta check your upload. My fault. I still sound like I'm half out of it. I ain't overslept, but I gotta check a few uploads and downloads exactly. Um, but this is the sad part about it, though. How can you sit here and cause the illest scenes in some of these places of profession, and then get mad when you end up either losing your job or end up getting arrested or end up just making yourself look like society's woe right now? Word, what's going on, my guy? Before I go any further, I ain't forget. Shouts to Liz B and happy birthday to Jazzy. Many, many more blessings around the sun, baby. But that's the saddest part about it. You made yourself look crazy by screaming, throwing a tantrum. Sometimes y'all mess yourselves up by even doing the simplest thing like really being violent. Even if it was a slight bit of violence, you set yourselves up a lot of times. Again, don't think you're not on camera being watched. You are. Court, what's going on, baby? This is my thing though. How do you get mad at somebody for something so light and mess up your whole life? Got to make it make sense. So, prime example, if you just messed up, let's say, for example, you just messed up a six-figure job because you couldn't control your emotions and your anger, that is a problem. And then guess what? Some of those instances of the things that you done, they still surface around even in the future. That video gonna stay around forever because again, that will be a wake up call to some people on why you still should have respect. Now you done turned around and lost your job for what? Because you wanted to try to belittle somebody. And when you belittle somebody and then get checked for it, now you want to be the professional victim. Ain't this about to be? When you should have just kept yourself professional. If somebody did something or if somebody messed up something, the simplest thing for me to do is go, yo, listen, not to be funny, you messed this up and I want something else. Now, there's a difference if I come in and you're the one being disrespectful, then yeah, by all means, I still got to keep a profession about it. But I just know either to record you or I just know to keep that on visuals for the next time. And a lot of times, I ain't even want to waste my time. You'll just know when somebody come walking in your spot. It's just that simple. You can go back and forth with you, especially if you the one being disrespectful. See, it's a two-way street because you got some workers that be doing the illest things. And my thing is, again, if you don't want these positions, these ain't the positions that you really want that resonate with you, then why be a part of it? Chris, what's going on, my guy? I think that's the saddest thing right now. Some of you are really putting yourselves out there looking crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. Now, see again, like going back to that situation with the camera. I can't feel bad for you. You messed up a job that you work, especially if it's almost a six-figure job, because of your unprofessionalism. Serious, what's going on, baby? But at some point, when do you stop being a professional victim and start thinking professional and start thinking logical? Now, my thing is, there was another thing that threw me off. And again, this is why I say, if you don't like those fields of profession, if they not really making you happy, if it's something that you really just don't want to do, and you're just now realizing it, you need to find another profession. And while you're finding another profession, still be professional. Now, it's probably going viral too. This young lady done got fired not once but twice from a client case because of her unprofessionalism. One of those unprofessional moments, she had a fight. Well, I guess she put the hands on the patient. But my thing is, if the patient has dementia and you obviously have been trained for that, you should know the signs. Cruising, what's going on, baby? Word. That's because that eulogy is coming when due time. You might end up putting yourself on the eulogy list for New Year's Eve. Let's see how this keeps playing out. You want to try my petty? Yeah, I don't think you want to do that. Ain't talking about you, Platty. They don't start your madness. Not talking about you. I'm just saying, you not working. You're not working as a home health aide, are you? Oh, okay. I'm just saying, for real. That's one field I said. If you're not liking that field at all, find something else. Because again, you're gonna come across patients who either got dementia, slight dementia, Alzheimer's. They could really be messed up, even to a point where you might have to do a majority of the work. And again, if you don't want to do stuff like that, don't get into that field. Now you want to play professional victim because now it's to the point where you could possibly even get your company in trouble. Why? Because you're still being unprofessional. And if I was that company, I'd have let you go now. So the first time something would have happened with you, you'd have been going for good. You don't need people like that. Not around people like your family and stuff like that, especially if they could have dementia or anything else along those symptoms. Because these are the type of people that are abusing them now. And then get mad and cry victim later on when they get wrapped up for their stupidness. Again, if you're being trained for something, you should know off the rip what you're being trained for and what to encounter. You can tell when somebody is faking something and when somebody is being real. And if a person is not even calling you the same name every day, oh yeah, that goes to show you 9 out of 10 they could have dementia or Alzheimer's. If they keep calling you somebody else's name, even if told them it's not my name, they still want to end up calling you another name outside of your name. That's just one of the effects of dementia. Like, get real, man. Angela, what's going on, baby? Like, come on, get real with it. I'm sorry, it just don't make no sense that it's no way y'all getting into these professions, doing these type of things, and then thinking it's not gonna backfire. Or it backfires. Now, another, I would say another, in my opinion, another story professional victim is the situation with the ex Amazon person and the other two people that got wrapped up. You took $10 million from a company because you felt you wasn't getting paid enough and y'all got high positions. Make it make sense. That don't make no sense for real. So I don't know why people keep trying to call me in the middle of a live. My bad. We back. We back. But this is what happens though. You stole $10 million from a company because you felt you wasn't getting paid enough. How much was you expecting to get paid? And now look, you serving what? What is he serving, like 14 years or something like that? Like, you ain't even had to do what you did, honestly. BMF, what's going on, my guy? So you about to do half of your, well, you're gonna do a little bit of time. Because you still might be young. I'm just saying, even if you're not, it don't matter. The fact that you took 10 million, the fact that y'all all was down for the 10 million scheme, that didn't make sense. How much did you expect to get paid, even if you do got a high up position in the company? You're only gonna get but so much unless you own the company, or unless that person that owns the company is gonna bless you with the benefits. Seriously. I hear you, bro. I hear you. That's the saddest part, though. Again, in moments like that, that's playing a professional victim. Because I'm quite sure you was definitely getting some money. No way you gonna tell me you feel uncomfortable. And seeing this is the thing too. Again, it be the money aspect of things that be driving y'all crazy. You know what? I'm gonna do this because word, this how much I'm getting. I bet, and I can start. Now, granted, for some y'all thinking that this is gonna be my come up to do what I really want to do. But in the same token, again, if it's not something, even if it ain't something that you want at the time frame, still got options to make something happen. You just gotta think and think clearly. Don't set yourself up for a kill for real. And see, I'll be honest with you. As much as you think you feel like you're being cheated, you're really not. Some of y'all be in these high up positions and you'll still cry about you don't have enough. You don't have enough. But in the same token, you're not doing specific things to keep yourself up. And I'm sorry, but that's a problem right there. In the world today, is too many professional victims. Now, there was another situation where you had two people who was going in, even to the point where the husband and the wife was definitely going in. They was being the most rudest people that they could be, even to the point of saying the N word with the ER at the end of it. Now, acting a fool, and it backfired on them. Why did it backfire on them? Because they got kicked out of half of those casino resorts because of that video going viral. Because of the way they just handled themselves. And you think about it, after a while, there's certain complaints going on. There's about the same group of people. After a while, they're gonna get tired of you because some people will even say, "Well, I don't want to come here if this is the type of situations I got to deal with." And again, that person wasn't doing nothing. The wife, again, that's why I said the other day, some of you fellas ain't really checking the way you supposed to be checking. There's no way your wife is accosting somebody, saying the N word, and even trying to get violent with them, and they ain't even doing nothing but enjoying their dinner. Don't care. Like sometimes they try to say, "Oh, they be you drunk." No, 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 no. Because even if you were sober, she probably still would have did the same thing. He probably would have been encouraging it. Now, at one point, it did look like he was trying to keep her away from whatever, but then he even started, stop acting like a bitch. And stop acting like a, like, really? You ain't even checking your wife. I'm minding my business. But I'm the B. I'm the N word. Like, that's what I'm saying. It be too much of the tactics. But now, look, you can't go on half of these casinos or bar resorts because the casino resorts and the bars and stuff because you're going to mess yourself up. Now, I guarantee you're going to play professional victim. Oh, but they did this. And can't play professional victim when it was recorded what the hell you was doing. You don't want to be losing out on certain things. Get yourself right. Tasha, what's going on, baby? Davis, what's going on, you shadow baby? Nah, nobody addicted. No, it was a situation where this couple they had a racist moment, and the wife doing more than the husband was as far as trying to really get violent, trying to keep accosting and attacking the situation, and now they ain't got themselves kicked out of half of those casinos. Hey, because nobody's gonna want to deal with that. If this is the type of people they gotta deal with everywhere, a lot of places will lose money. So again, at some point, they're gonna have to do what's necessary. If it's keeping your ass out the premises, oh well, keep you out the premises. You don't need to be here. You ain't gonna mess up my business or mess up what I got going because you can't keep yourself in control, or you can't keep y'all both can't keep yourselves under control. Because as he was still trying to quote unquote, you know, subdue her and all of that, he started even getting in with the words and the rants. It's crazy. Black Soul, what's going on? Oh, it made no sense. Like you did all of that. You thought that was going to work for you. You thought that was going to be something for you to continuously do, and you set yourself up for that kid. See how karma works a lot of times? That's exactly how karma works sometimes. Now, I guarantee you, once they found out, I guarantee you, here came the waterworks. But hey, you don't really want to be putting on waterworks, chill out. Stop playing professional. And I'm saying that on all angles. I'm saying that from every cylinder, from every community. That professional victim shit is getting overplayed. It really is. It's getting played out because again, you want to make yourself known so badly, or you just want to create some sort of moment in that moment, and you end up setting yourself up for the kill. And you've been seeing this as of lately. A lot of people have been doing this. They'll come on here, or they'll come on any platform, and they'll start ranting and raving about situations that happen. Oh, I lost this, and oh, because of this, and then because of this. But you're pointing the fingers, but you ain't pointing the finger at the obvious person who got themselves messed up and fired in the first place, yourself. If you the one that got yourself set up for the kill, how could you blame everybody else? How? It's not adding up. The math ain't mathing for real. Don't say, oh, because the person, how did the person trigger you? You'll even have people like that that'll sit there and try to justify something. Oh, yes, this person, how did this person trigger you if they just doing their regular job? Or how did this person trigger you if, prime example, we just out having a good time? We could be celebrating something too. And now you done messed up the celebration because, you wanted to have a moment. You wanted to provoke something. Davis, is true. It's true. Like, come on, let's be real. If, prime example, I'm out and about, even if I'm well outside of my city means, right? There's no way you gonna tell me I act a fool, knowing I'm acting a fool, and still continuously act a fool. I'm not using no alcohol, no nothing else as no excuse. I still got time to think before I do. I don't care where my mindset is at. If I continue to act the way I act, do I expect at some point not to get some sort of backlash? Yes, I will. If not from my company, from the people that I probably then gave the work to. Guess what? I gotta take that. Whether that became viral or not, my actions determine everything else. And if I acted a fool in a damn establishment, at some point, you'll have to pay the price for that. Grammys, what's going on, baby? Oh man, I was trying to be nosy for a minute. I thought I seen flashing lights, but I got bamboozled. Always getting bamboozled. Definitely appreciate you, serious, and I see you in here, James, too, trying to snipe and drop. I see y'all in here. And yes, you see the name change for right now. You stepped into the matrix. I'm everywhere. You might be everywhere, but it is truthfulness to that though. I would expect some sort of backlash, if not from my company, from those people. If I decide to ever go back to wherever I was at, to that establishment, I would expect them to say, "Hell no." It's just like people right now. Some people can't even go to the simplest hotels because they done messed themselves up. You done rented rooms out, did all sorts of wild stuff, done violated all protocols, or do the simplest thing like you don't want to pay the fees or do whatever, and then now look, yeah, you can't even come there no more. Why? Because of your wild antics. Davis, I gotta be because anytime it's near my building, shoot, I gotta make sure ain't know what's going on. See, I gotta be aware. That's one thing you all supposed to be aware of, even down to that. It be my luck I mess around and hear something, and I don't want to hear it, so I gotta be on point. Pardon me for doing my human duties. My bad, son. So I shouldn't be worried about none of y'all then, right? All right, all right. No, no, I'm just saying in general, Davis. They've been people like some people have hotel parties. Some people might rent a hotel for a couple nights, depending on where they at. But sometimes, that's crazy when you do certain things and then you can't even go back there if you want to go back there. Like, all right, this is going to be the spot the next time they allow me to do this is down the third. All right. No, I'm saying you have to compromise at some point. That's just like if I decide, yeah, I'm gonna use one of these big hotels for something. I could be having some sort of whatever, right? If I'm paying for everything, as far as I'm paying for the rooms, I'm paying for whatever damages might happen if they do happen, then that shouldn't be a problem because you're still getting paid up front for everything that's needed, just in case. But if it gets to a point where it becomes too much of a problem, even for the guest at hand that could be trying to frequent that spot now, then that's going to be a problem. That's what I'm saying. You can't play professional victim either when they tell you, sir, you it's not that your car is declined, you just can't come here no more. What you mean? You about to make a big scene for nothing. See, professional victim is starting to come at him. See, and another thing that's bad, you don't want to be a manager in the job that you in, then don't take that position either. If you feel it's too stressful, even when you got to deal with people, don't take it. See something else. Manager clear as day, acting the fool, getting upset. Why? Because the person that was waiting for their food was actually waiting more than half an hour when it wasn't crowded in there. You decide to be a viral moment knowing you represent the company. So you know you done messed yourself up out of a job and you probably gave that company somewhat of a bad rep, at least in that area. See, again, some of y'all have to think before you take these positions. And if these positions are too stressful for you, then find something else. Or let it be known that it's becoming a little too stressful. You might need some time off. Yes, you do need a mental break at times if you're taking in too much. Doesn't matter if you work a high position or not. But if it's going to be that trying to you, then you need to find something that works for you that's going to keep you balanced. Again, don't be no home health aide if you don't want to have to deal with actually helping. Exactly, Tasha. There is responsibilities to certain things, not just about the money. Prime example, that would be like, don't get into, and I was talking to my people that live in New York City. That would be like prime example, don't get into New York City housing if you don't want to clean and deal with anything of the sort. Or if you're going to get into housing, as far as working or a career, make sure it's something that you want to do and find that position that you actually want to do. Ain't even trying to be funny. But some people even get mad. Oh, I worked this month. All right, well, at a certain time frame, you could have been retired. If you feel 10 years is enough for you, okay, well, you could retire and still get your benefits and all that other stuff. From what was said to me last time, but I think that's almost any city job. 10 years, maybe 15 years at most. If that's when you decide you want to retire, if you decide that's what you want to do, hey, you entitled to do so and get what you got to get what you work for. No, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy how some people really just don't think. You know, Tanya, what's going on, baby? You already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. But again, that's any type of profession anywhere in the world. If you feel it's too stressful for you, don't take it. And again, when you dealing, prime example, with home health aid situations, you might get a patient where you got to do everything for them. If you feel that's too stressful to do after a while, you need to either let your company know that, yo, I may need another case. You know, I could do certain things, but there's other things I'm really getting tired of. I'm just getting stressed out. Or ask them for your days when you need it, if you can get your days. Because again, you do need mental health days. You do. Because sometimes you're going to deal with a lot of different stresses on the job, especially as the world is changing. But again, you have to have a certain amount of professionalism when you're doing so. Oh shoot, I ain't messing with you, Grammys. But see, it depends though, because certain jobs, yeah, they'll tell you if you feel this is when you want to retire, then you can do so. And I've always felt like this: if I put in more than 10 years with one specific company, if I decide this is where I'm going to leave at, or this is what I'm going to, all right, let me do so. Let me get what's owed to me. But again, don't be a professional victim. Take professional. Oh, another situation where you had a dude accosting another dude, and again, some of these situations have been racial situations. I can't get too upset about it again because I just spoke about this last night. But in the same token, I laugh because again, this person is wearing a company shirt, being a fool, acting a fool on camera. Then decides to want to take the shirt off, but you already done been recorded. Your name and your company is on it. So you messed yourself up, bro. Like, I'm sorry. What do y'all be thinking before you do? Y'all don't be thinking. You wouldn't care if you was wearing a company's uniform or you was off duty or whatever, and you would still act a fool. Hey, that's crazy, man. Another thing I did come across, and I think that's kind of sad though, from what I did peeping, from what I did gain knowledge on. But even down to, I'm gonna say, I'm sorry. Let me put this up. So I know me. I know me. I know y'all, even though it's a copyright in there. This is for fair use, though. This is just for educational purpose. Prime example, you want to be law enforcement, it don't matter where you at in the world. You want to be law enforcement, you got to either go by a specific book. And I ain't talking about not just what they teach you. You got to go by a specific code and a specific book in your, your character. You have to. You are being judged on that. It was a situation where these two cops, you could tell they looked guilty, and one didn't honestly didn't care. A situation where I don't, they probably might even had the wrong house, but the ladies explained it to the head, the head officer in charge. You know, you ask somebody to come out the house with their hands up. As they doing so, you would decide to grab them. That's a female, number one. Number two, she's telling you in the midst of everything that she has a 3-year-old sitting in the kitchen and she got something on the stove. She's basically cooking for a child, probably for her family. And you decide to bend the rule to enforce a rule. And it backfired. It's getting crazy, man. I'll be like that, David. Sometimes you gotta think, you know, how far you willing to go, especially when it's for your job. You're like, come on. You are supposed to be protecting and serving. And my thing is, if somebody is telling you, I got a child in there, I got something on the stove, especially they could have been trying to get ready to do whatever it is they doing. You could possibly burn that house down with that child in there because you took more than 5 minutes to assess a situation and let this woman get back to her child. Now I'm gonna say this again. If you're gonna get into that field, you really do know what's required. Even before you read a hand manual or anything, your common logic and common sense should know if this is the profession you're going for. You are not just thinking of self. You have to think about the people in your community and the people around you, even your coworkers and your colleagues. So again, if you feel that's not a profession you really want to get into or that's going to cause any type of mental imbalance, you don't need to get into it. Oh no, no, no. Not that one, Davis. This was a whole different story. She didn't get shot or nothing. She was definitely spazzing on. She had all rights to because I could have burnt my house down or possibly burnt my house down and killed my kid in there in the same token because y'all doing too much. And see that prime example, if something was to happen to y'all can't play professional victim because in that same instance, you almost endangered not just one life but multiple lives. It's crazy. And you can hear her voice that was real right there. And you can't play professional victim when you end up messing yourself up in the long run. Nah, Davis, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. Definitely appreciate you, serious. Thank you for dropping all those links. See you in here going pew 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 pew. Mm. But see, there's situations that's going to be delicate, and in the same token, guess what? I know how to navigate that. But in that token, what I just recently said, nah, you can't navigate that. If you know you might have the wrong people or whatever, whatever, or you think you trying to enforce something and you could possibly have my child in danger, nah, that's unprofessional and you don't need to be working that. You need to be up out of it. Grammys, I said the same thing. But then again, that's the profession. You gotta walk that beat, 9 out of 10, you man, listen. Some of them I can commend them because they go through a lot. I commend some of them, not all. I commend those who are actually going by the not by what the book says, but they just going by the common knowledge and just knowing how to build amongst people. Some of these cops are not bad. Some of these people are actually fixtures in their community one way or another because they be keeping it real with the people. Again, everybody gonna go down a different path, but it's crazy. And this is why I said sometimes you might even need a mental health day because it might just be that day you do something and you could cause a whole friction or disturbance when it didn't even have to go that far. And some people are going to do certain things because that's just already in their intentions to do. Sometimes an evil nature will straight present itself in front of people, and some people will overlook it. Some people are going to be aware of it and just be keeping the watchful eye. I've always felt like this: if you're short tempered, and you know a certain job you can't deal with, don't deal with it. And again, if that's something that you really don't want to do, you ain't trying to protect and really serve, especially the people you know in your community, then you don't need to be in that profession either. I'm just using that as an example because it does go with what I was saying. Doesn't matter what job you hold. If you feel it's becoming too much of a stress for you, find something else that will be better for you, and then move from there. I'm just saying, like it's time for that professional victimhood to stop. Because you wasn't that much of a victim prior to that when you was making these decisions and acting the fool the way you was acting the fool. Can't tell me anything different. It's just like when my company one time we went towards it. We well shoot. We went on a little how you would call it. We went on a end of the year trip. But yet and still in that same token, we knew we had to follow protocol. Because again, we representing our company. And that goes for a lot of y'all. You have to follow certain protocols, especially if it's dealing with the job and you're on the job basically. You ain't being at least somewhat professional or thinking professional, you'll set yourself up. And even if you're gonna do what you do, as long as you're not causing a disturbance to where they could possibly do something to you, that keep it under wraps. Cindy, what's going on, baby? I don't know. See, this was why I had to put the name up real quick, though. Yeah, because I was everywhere. This ain't the Matrix. This is the Matrix. I'm everywhere. Because again, you're gonna have things that you see, you have things you come across in real time. They all play hand in hand, one way or another. You do have people who play professional victim all day, but their time runs out because if you're the one that's really causing the disturbance, and you ain't taking accountability for your actions, then at some point you get what you put out. And honestly, that story with the home health aide made me mad because again, you have some people who really are in these professions, and instead of these companies actually getting rid of them or doing what they're supposed to be doing, they still allow these people to work. Nah, if you did something that could possibly jeopardize everybody's, well-being as far as the money aspect and everything else, you gotta go. Your liability to my company, you gotta go. So again, think before you do. I wouldn't care if you was on the job or off the job. Some things you just not gonna be able to do. And you're not gonna be able to get away with it scot free because at some point it will cost you. How much? We don't know. it does. You can't play professional victim. You can't cry and mope about it. You you shifted it your way. Appreciate you, Grammys, baby. Saying it's really about that time to snap back into reality. Some of these situations that I present tonight again should just be an eye opener for some. There's no need for you to be in any sort of position, even a high position, if you can't deal with the stresses, even if it's just the regular day to day stresses. And if you feel you need a mental break, even if you are in these positions, if you have the time to do so, do so. And that's the problem again. You know, some of y'all just not opening your mouths and not saying what you really need at that time frame. And if you really feel it's going to be one of those days you just can't deal with any day, you need to let your employer know well ahead of time what's what. So they can at least try to somewhat accommodate you. Again, don't play professional victim, act a fool with people, and then get mad when you get ousted. You deserve it. Because for that time frame you had to think, you should have just thought. Cindy, you see the darn title? What does it say, man? Got some people out here doing the utmost, and when they get wrapped up, they want to cry and mope about it. You can't cry and try to blame nobody else for your mistakes and your actions. You messed up. You know, you need to start taking accountability when you need it. Period. You don't want to get looked at funny. You don't a reputation like what was spoken about recently, and you got time to think. Don't do something just off of emotion alone. That will set you up in the long run. I don't care who you are. And if it ain't something that's really worth it, you basically just you already set them out for. No, there's a lot of different things again that plays hand in hand. No doubt, Davis, appreciate you, baby. Oh yeah, you owe me a rib sandwich. You ain't slick. I want my rib sandwich. Brian, what's going on, my guy? See y'all up in here. Now, prime example. No doubt, Tasha, appreciate you, baby. Now, see, this is a prime example I want to say of people playing professional victim. If I know for a fact I'm acting a fool, let's say in a basketball game or any type of stadium for that matter, if I get myself kicked out of the arena, whose fault is that? Mine or everybody else's? Yeah, Davis, you know I'm petty like that. Come on now. I want my rib sandwich, son. Don't make me chase you down with my sandwich. And see, I know for some y'all got work. Some of y'all kids done went back to school. Trust me, I know. I know. I really didn't want to start this live as late as I did, but then again, I'm kind of glad I did start it when I did because I would have overslept. I would have felt good. Y'all sitting there for almost 2 hours, like you ain't coming. You ain't coming at all. Nah, you know. But I wasn't gonna hold this all night neither. I just felt that need to come out too. Why do some of y'all do the things you do and then want to play victim? And again, if you really just don't like your position, whether it's work or whatever, then you have to change it. And again, ain't nothing wrong with change. But again, in that same token, you gotta be professional with what you're doing. And when you mess up, you just gotta really take the responsibility. Take it, learn from it, just try to correct your ways and just make sure you don't ever paint yourself in that light again. But there's some instances where once something is already recorded and it's out there, it'll be out there forever. And if it's something that's really distasteful, then you already messed yourself up. There's something to think about though. And at some point, for those people who played professional victim after losing whatever was lost to them, I bet you it left a sour taste in your mouth as well too. And it's not to throw a shot or kick nobody when they down. I don't do that. But I'm just saying from the moral, logical standpoint, I bet you it wasn't worth it. And it really wasn't in some of these instances. Y'all could have just played y'all cools and kept it all nonchalant and chill. But instead, you allowed yourself to be overthrown by not just emotion, but just this poor logic. This poor logic that I still have to present myself this way to get my point across. And see, when some people would be intervening, no, they just sit back and observe because they want to see exactly how far it's going to go. It's time for you to wake up and realize that there's some things that are bigger than you. There's going to be days that you just might not have all the patience in the world. And if that was those days, you need to just sit back and find some way to calm yourself down before you do something rash and you mess yourself up for good. Like again, am I really going to mess up a six-figure job because I can't control myself or because I feel I want to have an issue with somebody? It ain't worth it. Dee Dee, what's going on, baby? You come out of nowhere, shadow hugging you, shadow baby. What's going on, baby? Saying that it's crazy because again, now you done set yourself up for life. Why? Because you couldn't be in control of yourself. All right, you gotta master that. If the simplest thing is triggering you, you don't need to be out in the public. But again, some people are only just showing their true intentions. And they showing their true selves. And they showing exactly what was taught them. You gonna get what you think you gonna get whatever you gonna get. You gonna get what you want by just being a blatant ass. Excuse me for saying it that way. It's the truth. And I can't feel sorry for you if you really pursued the situation and made it worse on yourself. I can't. Now I might have been mad about certain things when I've been out and about. But I ain't never get too out of pocket. I ain't necessarily have to. Like even the simplest thing, if somebody messed up something I ordered, I just go back. It's only one time I probably had to come at somebody goofy for real, and that was because you was being unprofessional on the job and even on the camera. So I kindly had to let you know about it. It's one thing if you having a bad day, but if you know you might have to work or you know you might have to be amongst people that you really feel you don't want to, that's still your decision to make up. And if you are going to come in, and that means you ready to play ball. That's just like if I know we playing sports and I see you out here shooting jump shots and layups and stuff like that, but you want to try to tell me you not cleared to play. I ain't trying to hear that. If you come out here, that means you really ready to play. That means you ready to play. If you wasn't ready to play or if you was hurt like you say you would, you wouldn't even be out here doing that. Not unless you rehabbing. Now think about it. You're not really ready to be on any type of field if you just don't want to play that day, then don't play. It's all right. You ain't missing out too much. Sometimes you need some days to just get yourself right. Because again, you taking enough. The day to day aspects, you taking enough. World around you, your work, family, all of that, you taking enough as it is. Sometimes you need that little clear mental space and mental break. But again, don't go into a situation to mess yourself up. A lot of you professional victims, you try to play your hand with certain situations. Sometimes it might work, other times it's definitely not going to work. Times that it don't work, you only make it worse on yourself. And if you think it is working for you, it could be for a small time. But then a lot of times all it takes is the actual truth to present itself. And that token right there, you done messed up. See, like nobody, she probably thought, prime example, I'm going back to the Karen situation. She probably thought she was going to be all rude and disrespectful, especially towards somebody that's serving you food. And that should be the one thing you should always remember is when you got people that are serving you food, you need to be wary because you don't know what's what. And if you tick the wrong person off, you won't get something you don't want. Sad to say it, but it's true. Now, see, if that situation wouldn't have been recorded, then guess what? She probably might have got away with it. Or she would have got away with it only but so far. Because if another situation like that would have presented itself, she probably would have been set up for the kill. So again, just be mindful of what you present, what you don't. And again, think professional. Even when you're on the work, even when you're on the work field, think professional. Again, you all represent the company. And see, in those instances, you shouldn't be a viral moment for your viral moment. If that's what you was aiming to reach for some of y'all, if that was what you was reaching for, a viral moment. It shouldn't have painted you in that type of picture. Other cases, it's good that it got put out there because it shows a clear indication of what I be speaking about. Certain tactics that's always going to keep a distraction on the people. Ain't that far off. I don't know, but it's real weird now. Again, nowadays, some people can honestly sit here and get mad at everybody else for their own downfalls, their own mistakes. If I know I did something that's going to mess up a six-figure job, who am I going to blame? Myself, because I should have been in control of myself. And this is another portion of why you should be in control of your emotions, is you never know what's happening, what could happen, and how much of an effect it's going to have on you in the long run. Prime example, you messed up that six-figure job, even if you do end up getting something along the line or somewhere down the road, it might not be that comfortable cushion like you first had. And if you are sitting in those type of positions in companies, I don't care if you're not working that day and you on vacation. Just try to keep yourself in the best light. You never know who recording or who's doing what. No, you never know what cameras is catching what. Gotta start being more truthful with yourself and more accountable for your actions. And see, a lot of these situations that I talked about tonight in that one cent, they all was in control of their actions. Still did whatever. So some of those people presented a clear and present danger as far as people on the workforce. But the rest of them, they wasn't because it showed. Even to a point where you feel you want to get violent with somebody you don't know, that's a problem. But again, I do feel that part it'll be niched out at some point because it's clear as day. Some of you people know what you be doing, and you refuse to stop doing it. But at some point, you will run into that wall. That's not going to be good for anything. Get yourself in tune. And honestly, you ain't showing no real blueprint to anything. Even if, prime example, if you got a family, now, I'm quite sure that lady probably got a family. And then look, you're bugging right now. You have a viral moment, and now your kids is going to see this, and this is going to be forever. So be careful on what you're doing. Be more in control of your thoughts and your emotions. You stand up for what you have to stand up for, but again, if you're not being violated in any way, shape, or form, keep it pushing. It's not that serious. Kev, what's going on, my guy? Some of y'all think everything is all peaches and cream. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from doing this. Or this the best way for me to get over on people all the time. At some point, people gonna realize what it is with you. And if you get yourself niched out of certain areas, whose fault is that? And again, I can pose this question tonight. When did you stop playing the professional victim and start playing the game like a professional? Time to change that up. And in some of these instances that we see is clear as day. It's sad that some of these situations are being caused because of just sheer ignorance and hate. Again, not just within self, but hate for anything that it's not for it's not being good for them. Sorry, it's not. It's not healthy to sit here and be mad at the world about specific things. And it doesn't give you right to violate or disrespect anybody anyway, neither. I think about the situation as far as the home health aide was concerned. You're going live talking about, yeah, you did this and yada yada yada. And okay, now in that same token, what if that family wanted to do something outside of what they did? You didn't think about that. Or what if you get a case, you get another case, and that could be your last case, your last client? You better chill out. You dealing with somebody else's family, and you supposed to be caring for them. You should know what you signed up for, basically. And if you do know what you signed up for, you better get into it and get with the program. It ain't gonna be too pleasant. And there are some people who had to deal with serious consequences because of their actions on the job, especially in that field of play. Because you're not just putting that person's life in danger, you're putting yourself in danger. And again, if you don't want to get in specific professions, then don't get into it. You're not ready for the responsibilities of any job that you take. Don't do it. And once you really do step into it, once you got your foot on the brakes, you might as well push the way you got to push to. Take your stoppages when you need, because you need that mental space and clarity, and then you keep the foot right back on the gas. If that's the profession you feel is going to help you get to where you really truly desire to be at. It shouldn't just be a quick come up and just the money aspect. No, it's not just things you're going to learn on a job that's going to be money based. You're going to be learn a different avenue on a little bit of everything. Again, you're supposed to take every tool needed. But that was almost the same thing in life. You're supposed to take every tool that is needed and execute it. And put yourself in the flame by playing childish games. Just going to tell you that. And in some of these instances that I spoke about again tonight, these are childish situations, not taking accountability. And you honestly still sound more selfish than anything. Have a common respect level for people, especially the people that are supposed to be assisting you or helping you out. Telling you, you want a lifetime of misery and pain and heartache because you couldn't really just stop yourself in that moment. See, in these instances, I don't mind when things get recorded. Because again, it paints a picture. Because some of these people are actually just that dastardly. And it's always good to paint a picture, especially for those coming into the future, that these are the type of people that even if they are here in the future, you know how to stay away from them and how to maneuver around them. Whatever they thought was going to work, it backfire on them. And if you know how to make it backfire on them, then hey, that's what you're going to have to do. Another prime example sometimes is just pure sheer ignorance and hate. You're ignorant to the fact that you have specific responsibilities, even if you don't want to do them. Then you're hateful to the fact that you have to do these duties and you really don't want to. And that's the worst form of, in my opinion, self hate. Because you're not standing up for yourself, you're not thinking for yourself, and you're not really trying to correct yourself in that instance. Love, baby, what's going on, baby? Again, I'll be honest with you though, it really is beyond madness when these same type of tactics is messing us up, period. as far as just building a better society. Because as you're trying to build a better society, you still got to deal with what's going on in this society now. And the balance is definitely well off. And I would say for some people, if that's what you would have to do, is record something and record evilness at its best, then you do so. Because again, there are some people who they spirits just ain't right. It's not right only because again, they don't care. If it ain't about them, they don't care. That respect level though went out the window a long time ago. And that's what we lost, and we need to get that back. We are allowing certain things in society to poison and just mess up not just the moral compass, but just the respectful compass. But I believe some people are always going to keep these tactics going and play professional victim because that's just what they know. That's something that was taught to them. It's not that certain behaviors is just taught behaviors, but it goes to show you when the cycle is not broken before time, they're gonna keep spewing out the same type. And see, prime example with the husband and his wife really, really saying that N word to somebody and then still trying to attack and get crazy with somebody. If you got kids, your kids are gonna see this. This is gonna be up forever. That you couldn't keep control of yourself, and now you banned from certain areas. And if it get even worse, you could be banned from a lot of places. Sonya, what's going on, baby? I don't know. Just it's real crazy. Those type of tactics, those type of variables need to be broken and broken for the good. But I do feel one thing though. I feel when you put yourself in that type of category and position, you meant to do that. Self sabotage is the worst sabotage. I could get my point across even if I am having a bad day without going off the walls or off the rails. And a lot of people need to learn that. There are some people who know that hand in hand. I know how to deal with this situation. I've been here before. I know how to do this. I got this. Get my drift? Don't take much to know anything. You know when your spirit feel right and when it don't feel right. And when it don't feel right, even to a point where you're going to almost self sabotage yourself by allowing your raw emotions to come out on people, especially innocent people. Paint yourself out there for something real bad. But let me try to explain to some people. Well, nah, I don't really have to, but well, yeah. Let me give y'all a little brief moment. This, in my opinion, is what I would say you are allowing specific spirits to just mess with you. Now, if you feel unbalanced, we know you're gonna feel like this. Again, you might feel like this. But that don't mean you gotta act a fool with everybody else around you. And that also means you're not gonna sit here and be disrespectful to people because you're having an off day. Or because you're upset because they didn't do something right. They are still doing their professions at the end of the day. You got mad about your food, okay. Some of y'all don't have to go as ape shit as you do, but you do it anyway because you feel you either got the right people around you and they gonna always protect you, or you feel that's just something you want to do because you don't care. Yeah, you gonna play around with the hands of fate, and in the same token, you're gonna end up crying and playing victim. Oh, but that person was rude to me, and they said this to me, and I, no, when it's clear as day, this person wasn't even bothering you. You chose to do that. You chose your own fate when you decided to do what you do. But it is what it is. I just feel it's really sad in that notion because again, you need to realize that there's certain opportunities that if you already have it, why risk it because you can't get in control of your mindset. Now again, there's a difference when you really do have any type of mental health psychosis or any of those things. Because again, yeah, your mind is not all the way there. But these people ain't playing victim. They not crying victim. They really are victims. Because their mind is plagued one way or another. And especially if they're not getting the proper protocols or the medications that they need to keep them where they need to keep them. Then again, they're not playing victim. They're not crying victim. A lot of them really do be needing help and don't get the help. Oh, one thing I am going to say to some people, we need you to stop crying mental health if you know you don't really suffer from that. Yeah, this is just my moral side, just really telling you this right now. You need to stop playing around with that. Not a good look. Definitely not a good character look anyway. Especially when you know you're in control of your own destination. So Don't play professional victim and then try to use that as an excuse neither. And again, if you do need one of those days, you just take it. Do what some people would do. Or for those who like to be always watching movies and TV and everything else, right? We have at least come across more than one specific movie or show where if somebody really don't feel like being bothered with the world, they just don't go out. They'll make the necessary calls or whatever, whatever, and they stay home. That's how you avoid a lot of your own madness too and your own self sabotage. Gotta chill out sometimes. Eliminate yourself from that space if you feel you're being triggered. But if you ain't really being triggered, just never mind. See, I almost triggered myself messing with y'all today. Mahoney, what's going on, baby? Man, listen. I'm gonna say this again. When you're feeling like this, I'm saying when you're feeling like this, yeah, just stay home. There's nothing wrong with doing so. You are protecting your mental balance if you feel you are coming a little bit unbalanced, or you just taking the time to get in control of yourself for the day. You could be going through a whole bunch of different things, not saying that you might not be, but that still doesn't give you reason to be disrespectful and wild out. Sorry, it just doesn't give you that option. I hear you, Mo, baby. I'm sorry. It's time to see things for really what it is. Not going to be able to continuously run down that path and think you don't got some sort of wall you want to hit or some sort of consequence that's coming with it. But you really need to ask yourself again, what's more important? Me having a fair balance or me having no balance at all, and then without no balance, I mess myself up. Even out of a good opportunity. You never know. Sometimes opportunity probably would present itself in that notion. But if you're acting ignorant, you're gonna knock yourself off, especially if it's going viral. You already know, Mo, baby. Mostly what you gonna get over here. You still gonna get your comedy and everything else, but then there's just things that we really need to put on the table. And it doesn't matter if it's talked about day in and day out until we really start reaching those demographics or what's needed and start changing some of these things that we see as not just distractions but division tactics. Always have something to bring in. The link is pinned in case anybody want to chime in on the situation at hand. I wasn't gonna hold y'all on that neither. Um, and I definitely knew I overslept today, but it was needed. Gotta get to walking this fur pup at some point. But I honestly feel this is a way we do this by bringing the conversation. But I'm sorry. Yeah, I know I'm about to. I'm about to give y'all probably like another 15 minutes of nothing. My lesson over tonight. I do want to say one thing though, for those who need to hear this, those who might set themselves up for the kill or could be close to. Think about some of these stories that you hear and see. You're gonna be your own downfall because why? Felt it was needed. You are committing the only act of betrayal, and the only act of betrayal is to yourself. I don't want that to slip over nobody head either. You're betraying yourself when you're not being in control of what's going on around you. Some things you're not going to be able to control. You should be able to control yourself and keep yourself within a strong regard, regardless. I'm gonna say this for those again who like to go out and have food or eat food. You don't want a situation to occur. Don't bring that situation. Even if it's something wrong with something, okay, look here. Um, Something wrong with this. I'm gonna need either something else or what else you got? Or I'm gonna need my money back. And 9 out of 10 they ain't gonna want to give you your money back, so you might as well just stop playing yourself. Even in the fast food joint, stop playing yourself. And that's on both cylinders because you got some people who have not shown a profession even while they was on the workforce. Look, it goes hand in hand. Another tactic, one way or another. You don't like your job, it doesn't matter where you working at. If you don't like it, find something else. Don't be unprofessional and cause yourself future heartache and pain. Everything is becoming a viral moment for some reason. Some of it ain't really need to be a viral moment, but it is painting a picture about what you seeing and what you witnessing. And you can look at somebody's face and tell when they spirit just ain't right. But with that instance, with that couple, oh yeah. Not that they was just taught that. You can look at their face and tell they really believe and stand stern on what they believe. And it's like I was saying earlier. If it ain't this, it ain't that. I ain't even gonna get into that. See, I could give sincerity to actual victims who have been actual victims of not just discrimination, but physical attacks, so on and so forth, even when it wasn't provoked. Some situations get provoked because you got instigators, and they don't necessarily even be the parties at hand. See, I could have a sympathy and an empathy for that. I can't feel bad for a professional victim that has known or has been known to do specific things of that nature. I can't. Because again, if you're going to self sabotage yourself out of something good, whose fault is that? It ain't mine, and ain't anybody else's. It's your fault. Just like when I told one of my peoples he was crazy for doing what he did. I told him, I said, "You crazy. Left the position without having another position. Who fault is that?" You want to? I'm about to walk to the store. Gotta walk this dog too. I just realized what time it was. It really is almost midnight. My day went by quick, y'all. It's y'all fault. Well, not really. See, I was about to play professional victim. See, I was about to play a professional victim, knowing it wasn't my fault, knowing it wasn't your fault either. It just happens sometimes. The day go by quick, but hey, you still got this pain of the night. Don't laugh, never T. Don't encourage my man, this baby. Now, see, guess what? Now, if I would have thought to play like that, see, I think I know how to play a professional victim, y'all. I'm learning. See, I was about to blame y'all. I'm blaming all of y'all. Forget that. I am. I'm blaming all of y'all. It's y'all fault I slept past my time. I didn't do no music. Neff, it's your fault. I ain't get a chicken bone yet. James, your fault. I ain't find my sniper rifle. Serious. You just been doing what you're doing, so I appreciate what you've been doing, baby. Didi, you always shadow hugging, out here thugging and bugging. Nothing is my fault over here. All the madness we incurred, it was y'all fault. Oh, wait. I lie. I lie. It's all of our fault. See, I can take accountability, baby. Nah, but James, definitely. I'm about to say, James, yeah. Make sure, yeah, sometimes you lose track of time even when it comes to doing that. I know. It do. But always remember that. Just keep yourself in accordance, even when you are getting wrapped up in business. Nah, but it's all love though. It's always gonna be repeated love here. But I felt this was needed tonight. I've seen a couple instances, even today before I ended my live earlier with you. I seen a couple instances where I already seen at some point you're gonna see somebody playing professional victim. Find about something that they know they set off themselves. Think before you do. That's all I can really tell you. I think that's really the most valuable thing that we really take a we really take it for granted. And we really should. Our ability to think even under pressure. Seems like some people lost that. Even if you have to work and you might feel like you're going through some sort of stresses, you do get 15-minute breaks. You do know that, right? Take one of them if you have to. There's some jobs where you might get two 15-minute breaks. See, some people do get an hour lunch break if you be technical, because you'll have your half an hour for some of y'all, and then you'll have your two 15-minute breaks, especially if you might be working a double shift. So you better utilize it. Right on point with that, Neff, because that's the crazy part about it. Don't set yourself up for a downward spiral. really ain't worth it. But see, I think tonight was a good topic too as well. Um, shoot, even last night's topic was definitely on point. You know, at some point you gotta gain realization that there's just some things that should never be accepted. Disrespect is definitely one of them. I would say that to anybody. Disrespect not to be tolerated. And the minute that respect is thrown out the window, then that's when all bets is off. I've always felt that way. Universal law, you know. Karen, what's going on, baby? See, I've always felt this way. Your downfall, it does start and end with you. If you put yourself in that motion, then guess what? You caused it. And the effect is you're going to get the universal law of nature or that universal karma. The universal nature part of it is just keeping yourself sound and balanced and keeping yourself well afloat, doing what's necessary for you and keeping yourself preserved and whole. The other road, you already know what comes with that. It could be multiple angles of things coming your way. Might not see it. That effect could be drastic. So getting that notion, you need to think wisely and make an ultimate decision. Because if you're not making that clear decision, it can cost you. So again, I would advise you to think professional, even on all levels and aspects of life. If you don't do so, you're going to be the professional victim. You can't cry when circumstances just come your way. If you caused it, there will be an effect to it. Think about that. Tonight was definitely a good topic, and you know we're gonna always get topics like this. Yeah, you're gonna get a part two of this. You know this already. You know this. But I definitely appreciate everybody, and shout outs to all my members that popped in this morning for the members only live. Like I said, you might get some more lives like that. Might be different time frames. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I digress, y'all. It was definitely fun hanging out with y'all. Before he give me the look of death, let me start getting myself together and getting him out for the war. But we will have a part two to this as well too. It could be this week, so just look out for that. And the part two, the last night's live, is definitely coming this week as well too. Um, just going to keep bringing what's necessary to the forefront. And if we got to back some of the same conversations in, so be it. But it is a step to doing what's necessary. If you don't like it, hey, it is what it is. You have an option. Be a part of it. Don't be a part of it. Either which way won't matter to me because I think professional. I'm never going to be a professional victim. But yet I digress. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Y'all didn't have to be here, but you was. And again, shouts to everybody that been holding it down and you know, doing what they've been doing. Just living life. Realist, you late to church. See, see what happens when realist is late to church. See, now he got to get one of these two. See, I know he was down and out. See, so he get one of these. And he get one for the road too, since he ain't gonna play the organ. Yeah, take. Nah, but shouts to everybody though. For those who might have just been touring in, you can catch the replay. But again, be more in control of your emotions, even at the highest peak of anger. But you play those type of costly games, especially if it's going to mess with your profession or whatever it is you're doing in life that's beneficial for you, you only set yourself up for the untimely demise of yourself. Get it together. Just something to think about, though. But again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're gonna definitely have this part two this week, and you know you're gonna catch me for the morning safe. Just a strong balance we're gonna have over here. And again, I would tell you this: if you're not prepared for what's going on, if you're not prepared for what's to happen, I don't think you want to build over here. But I would also tell you in that same instance, if I ever did something to you and I'm not known to really do much to people, it's something you did. Don't play and cry professional victim. I'm just being professional while I'm here. And even when I'm doing me and I'm acting a fool, I'm still being me. Not doing nothing, not crying victim, no need to cry victim. Not when I know I'm moving right. And I'm always going to be in control of these emotions, even when I sound like I'm at my angriest, because again, some things I'm just not going to allow take me outside of that element. Cause and effect. But definitely appreciate y'all. Y'all was new to the channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout outs to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance tonight, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I'm gonna do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real builds. So we'll definitely be back in the morning for that safe. I don't know, kind of might want to do another members only live. I'll figure this out. Give y'all another members only live sometime during this portion of the week. We'll see how this pans out. But I definitely enjoy y'all evenings. I see some of y'all still running around these streets. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.